Greetings, everyone. It's great to be with you and learning with you once again. Thank you so much for joining us. Our presentation today is entitled On the Laws of Life 8, the Law of Service. And to get ready for this presentation, we'll do see an image to do with knighthood that I've shown you before, but I'll amplify it further. Here. In preparation for our meditation, let's reflect some on a wonderful work of art to do with knighthood and the highest ideals of knighthood. And this way, we'll be all more ready for our discussion later. I'll give you at various times some references that Anna will post in the chat and attach it as a PDF in the chat for you later on as well. The law of service is fundamentally about giving back the best of what we have been given. It has a great deal to do with increasing the self-reliance of others and in the process ourselves. We see before us an image of Edward, the Black Prince, incarnated from 1330 to 1376 CE. He was a son and heir apparent of King Edward III. He was one of the original Knights of the Garter. The Knights of the Garter continue today. It's based on the story of the Knights of the Round Table and the great spiritual quest for the Holy Grail that we continue today. In particular, and to be more accurate, what we're seeing before us is an effigy of the Black Prince's tomb in Canterbury Cathedral in England. It's a wonderful medieval masterwork of an armored figure in metal. The gilt copper alloy effigy is done with extreme skill. You'll notice on the side there's various heraldry in the tomb. I draw your attention particularly at this point to the 3 ostrich feathers that are on a shield. This is very important because it's associated with the Prince of Wales and the Black Prince's model to I serve, and hence its relevance to our presentation today on the law of service. Ich dien, I serve. Let's take a closer look from above. On the presentation on Rosicrucian TV, which there's a recording on the call to knighthood, you may wish to look at that, and also the mystical statuary of the world. There was a featured on Rosicrucian TV, this particular sculpture, which you'll recall. Now, in thinking about knighthood and its ideals, it's a way as much relevant today, in some ways even more so than it has ever been. If we take a closer view up on this, you'll see here as well the piety expressed by the hands together, the joining of the current of the vital life force, and the prayerful attitude. The eyes look out towards us in a way suggestive of the deepest part of ourself, the divine within, the master within. There's the protection of the armor. And the armor of the knight is important to you, is important well to handle fear and superstition. By superstition, we mean incorrect understandings and explanations, and ignorance that may be directed towards you in being of service and doing what is right. The keynote of knighthood is unconditional caring in its highest ideal, known only through the mystical experience of the divine within. The knighthood is also active, so in this dual manner, it represents well service. One thing that's quite special about seeing this work of art is that it reminds me of past imperator Ralph M. Lewis's description of the sword, the shield, the helmet, and the breastplate in his book, Behold the Sign. There he notes that in the biblical passage, Ephesians 6, verses 13 to 17, there's something of great import in understanding its deeper mystical import of that sacred text. Now, while the Rosicrucian order is not a religion, it does assist persons in their chosen religion or not to have a deeper understanding of the sacred traditions of the world from a first-hand experience. Not so much from the viewpoint of belief or faith, but from knowledge, wisdom, and direct contact with the divine. That passage in Ephesians said, and is beautifully depicted before us here, and would have been familiar to the Black Prince and the artisans that made this masterpiece in metal. It reads as follows: "Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about you with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you should be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God." Now, with this preparation and attunement with this divinely inspired work of art and its expansive meaning of what it is to be a human being, an essential purpose of the human to serve, let us prepare now for a meditation as we continue to consider the law of service. When you're ready and in the deep spiritual attitude of the night before us, in a way we're looking at ourselves and our divine nature and our divine purpose and mission in life before us in a symbolic way. So inspired, let us let go of the cares of the day and have a mini retreat. Be a co-worker with the cosmic. I invite you now to close your eyes as we begin our meditation period. I invite you to ensure that you're seated in a comfortable fashion, spine upright, feet flat on the floor about 8 inches apart, the holy temple connecting the temple of the earth, or similar if you're lying down. It's important to be able to breathe in an unencumbered way, because an important part of life and meditation is working with the vital life force and the mastery of our breath. To be able to do whatever comes our way in service. Just enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath a while. In this mini vacation, mini retreat. With each incoming breath, you may wish to sense the great increasing presence of the divine within, master within, our true guide in nature and life. And with each outgoing of the breath, you may wish to feel automatically the relaxation response, where the great vagus nerve is stimulated. Relaxation is so important for many things in our life, for being able to heal ourselves, help with the healing of others, that is to make whole, but also for us to think clearly, to concentrate well, to take up our duties in life with precision and accuracy and enjoyment. Just continue to enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath. That rhythm is part of the vibrations, the many, many octaves of a cosmic keyboard. This way we're tuning ourselves with the cosmic. Cosmic has a special meaning to Rosicrucians. All natural and spiritual laws and the universal intelligence back of the cosmos, the universe. you've had a challenging day or an exhilarating day and roughed up a little bit, just use this as a time to get realigned with the master within, our divine nature, our full maturity and purpose in life. Soon we'll begin our ascent to the heights of the celestial sanctum, following the instructions of the central Rosicrucian meditation document, Liber 777. So you enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Meditation is the profound act of non-avoidance. When we avoid things, we build up tension and anxiety about them. But if we face them and recognize them and let them go, we'll come back to them with greater strength and integrated faculties to know how to be and how to act and discharge and resolve. Let us apply the law of silence a while longer. Increasingly surrender to the divine within. Be receptive to our true nature within. Now let us continue our meditation, ascending now to the heights of the celestial sanctum. I invite you to say with me the following prayer and invocation. May the divine essence of the cosmic infuse my being, and cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may enter the celestial sanctum and attune in pureness and in worthiness. So mote it be. Now, fratres and sorors and participants, I invite you now to use all your inner psychic faculties and your imagination capacity to picture yourself rising up from the home or dwelling where you're at or building, and rise up over the structure and look down on it, and keep rising up over the neighborhood where you are and see its system and order, mirroring that of the cosmic, and continue to rise up higher and higher over your geographic area, your town, or your city. Enjoy the exhilaration of the ascent. Keep rising up faster and faster, looking down now on the province or state where you dwell, and continue to rise up higher and higher and look down on the great nation or country where you dwell, and see down below the deserts, the mountains, the agricultural fields, the rivers, the streams, the oceans, the lakes, the high hills, whatever is applicable to your nation or country. See the weather systems and continue to rise up faster and faster and take in now not only your country, but also the continent where you dwell, and now even the hemisphere, now even the entire blue jewel of the earth, rotating about its axis, the moon revolving about it. See the harmony and beauty of it all as we continue to rise up higher and higher, and sense now also the presence of the solar system, the beautiful elliptical orbits, the huge planet Jupiter, the wondrous rings of Saturn, and the smaller planets of Mercury, Mars, and Venus, all revolving about their great revolutions about the great fiery ball of the sun, our local star, and continue to rise up higher and higher and take in other stars and stellar phenomena, comets and asteroids, rogue planets. Continue to rise up higher and higher, enjoying the exhilaration of the ascent. See the stars and the nebulae, the black holes helping balance the universe, the quasars and the pulsars and the supernovae, and continue to go faster and faster, using great inner spiritual strength, continually surrendering to the divine within. For as we rise up in the cosmos and the cosmic, the law of correspondence will go deeper and deeper within ourselves. Sense the increasing presence of the divine within. As we go faster and faster, right out from the great Milky Way galaxy, that is our local home, and see its great spiraling arms, its wondrous beauty, the great motions of the cosmos, the revolutions, the various vibrations on the cosmic keyboard. Sense things not only physically, but psychically on the great sea of vibrations, forming a great symphony of music and the divine music that artists and musicians on earth seek to imitate in their own inspired works, to draw us to the cosmic consciousness. Continue to rise up past many clusters of galaxies and even clusters of galaxies that astronomers call superclusters galaxies. Enjoy the beauty and wonder of it all, seeing the many, many galaxies in their various forms, superclusters of galaxies and the clusters of galaxies. Start to sense all the more the great immensity of the universe on the finite plane, suggesting even more to our inner nature the tremendous vastness on the infinite plane of the cosmic. Keep rising up faster and faster. And as you sense the vastness of the universe, sense too that it's revolving about a great cosmic axis spoken of by mystics and philosophers since ancient times. And as you speed past all the stars, the interstellar gases, the nebulae, clusters and superclusters, sense how they're revolving about a great cosmic axis of stupendous harmony and order. And continue up faster and faster and sense now the presence of the cosmic axis and speed towards its midpoint, the great center of the cosmos. And as you come to the center of that midpoint, and the vastness of the universe all about you, slow up and dwell there a while we follow and extend the instructions of the booklet, verse 777. Look around and see the vastness, beauty, great harmony and music, the divine. Totality of the macrocosm mirroring the microcosm, our holy temple. Body, mind, and of the soul personality and the universal soul flooding in from within us. And when you're ready, fill in the sights and sounds, the various sense impressions, both outwardly and inwardly in a psychic fashion, of your personal celestial sanctum, your sacred space. You may be picturing yourself inside the grand temple of the Rosicrucian Order Amor, the Rosicrucian Park in San Jose, California, or a Hindu mandir, or a Buddhist stupa, or a Jewish synagogue, or an Islamic mosque, or a Christian cathedral or church, or some other sacred place to you. Maybe an inspiring place in nature like a sacred grove, or a seashore or lakeshore, and the rippling of the waves coming in, reminding us of the vastness of the universe, the vibrations of the cosmic keyboard. Or maybe a high hill or vantage point on a mountain, giving you that expansive view suggestive of the cosmic consciousness. Keep filling in the sights and sounds and impressions inwardly, outwardly of your personal celestial sanctum, your sacred space. You may wish to picture other seekers, invisible and visible masters with you. The officers of our order, the Grand Lodge officers, the Grand Masters, the Imperator conducting a service, possibly, convocation. You may wish to picture around you various symbols, such as in stained glass windows depicting mystical and Rosicrucian laws and principles. Feel the high rate of vibration in the celestial sanctum, comprehensive nature of knowledge there, our link with the Master within and with all. And once you've filled in sufficiently your celestial sanctum, the sacred space, when you're ready, just let go of the visualization. Assured that you are there and attuning with the highest consciousness possible. And dwell, applying the law of silence, feeling the invigoration of the vital life force through you and all around you in the cosmos. Just continue to surrender. Let us be receptive to the divine within, the source of all knowledge, all love, all caring in its deepest way. If you find your mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to the gentle rhythm of the breath. Will you dwell in the heights of the celestial sanctum? Just feel whatever there is to feel. Any impressions arise, take note, but then go back to the gentle rhythm of the breath, tuning with the cosmic. In the deep stillness and the surrender, you may wish to feel your mind increasingly being the cosmic mind, expanding out throughout the cosmos, identifying your mind with the cosmic mind, experiencing as the cosmic mind experiences. Mind filling the cosmos and beyond. assume the cosmic mind. Experience as the cosmic mind experiences now. One with the one. Now, for others and sorors and participants, as we continue to be at one with the one, being the cosmic mind, let us partake of another spiritual operation of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc. While we're attuned in this exalted state, let us apply the law of service. As part of the silent council, in conjunction with the Council of Solace, the Rosicrucian Order Amorc, let us radiate love and well-being to all those who have petitioned the Grand Lodge of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc for guidance and healing, and all those who have petitioned the Amorc affiliate bodies for guidance and healing. And let us radiate love and well-being to all those that you know who are needing guidance and healing. And let us radiate love and well-being out to all sentient beings throughout the cosmos, partaking of the cosmic mind, who are in need of guidance and healing. Radiate the love and well-being out from the divine center, like a great floodlight flowing out, filling the cosmos to all in need. First, use great inner spiritual force like you use to rise up to the heights of the celestial sanctum. And gradually you'll find less and less conscious effort is needed. And the flow will even speed up, and you know you're reaching all those in need. When that happens, just continue to surrender, to be one with the one, assuming the divine mind in this act of service, the sending of metaphysical aid. The need is enormous, but it is finite. We'll work through the infinite resources, the cosmic mind and of the divine within. The flow and love and well-being radiates with great rapidity from you. Just let it happen. Master within knows how to do this. It's no longer an outward act. The outer nature has but offered itself as a channel in service. Just continue to feel the radiations in the center of your being and one with the cosmic mind. Riders and soarers and participants, we'll soon formally close this period of sending metaphysical aid, but we'll continue the meditation period a while longer. To close this work of the Silent Council in conjunction with the Council of Solace, I invite you to say with me now, if it pleases the cosmic, It is done. So mote it be. Let us continue a while longer, dwelling at the heights of the celestial sanctum, feeling enriched, rejuvenated, re-energized, rested, all the more ourselves, all the more ready to be of service and fulfill our mission in life. Before we begin our descent, you may wish to invoke the law of gratitude, just as we've invoked the law of service and the law of cosmic attunement. Express gratitude and love to all who've taught us well, to all who have served us selflessly, to all who have sacrificed for us, to all who have taught us well. Now, friars and sorors and participants, let's begin our descent from the heights of the celestial sanctum, moving at tremendous speed, way beyond the speed of light, past the superclusters of the galaxies and the clusters of galaxies. Enjoying the exhilaration of this descent. See in the distance many, many superclusters, galaxies. And sense the one that is our local supercluster, our great home. As we enter into it, you see how the clusters of galaxies are rotating about great axis within it. And past the myriad clusters of galaxies, see in the distance, sense our local cluster of galaxies, our great home, and plunge into it and see the myriad stellar phenomena, quasars and pulsars and galaxies, and see in the distance the beautiful spiraling galaxy that is our home, the Milky Way galaxy. And let us enter into it, past the myriad stars and stellar phenomena, and see in the distance the great fiery ball of the sun, in our solar system, and home in on it, become closer and closer, beauty and harmony and order of it. As we come to the earth, we see the hemisphere where we left off, the continent, the great nation, country, our province or state, our local geographic area or city or town, and then our neighborhood. Before we can formally conclude this period of meditation, I invite you to say with me the following prayer and invocation, applying the law of purification. May the God of my heart sanctify this attunement of self with the celestial sanctum. So mote it be. Let us continue down into our building or dwelling or home. The room where we left off, situated if we're seated or lying down. You may wish to stretch now with the wisdom of the holy temple, feeling rested, re-energized, all the more ready for the continuing work and worship of Rosicrucian order, now and always, as we continue our presentation. Thank you. So we'll continue our presentation on the Laws of Service 8. It's been said about service by Marian Wright Edelman, who is a great worker for children's rights and civil rights, that service is a rent we pay for being. It is the very purpose of life. and not something you do in your spare time. You may have heard that quote in other related forms. For example, it's been also stated by the great Olympian and humanitarian Muhammad Ali. I note too, in a related way, on the centrality of service and the importance of us being servants, that the Reverend Fred Rogers relates that when he was preparing the work of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, a pioneering children's television program that ran for many years, which I know you know well, he said that when I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news. My mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." It is extremely important for us, each in our own way, to be one of those helpers. In this regard, it reminds me of the central emphasis of service in the Rosicrucian Order Amark as an order of knighthood. Part of the reason I showed you that inspiring image of knighthood, because it helps attune us with the order and its purpose. All part of the quest for the Holy Grail. In the Rosicrucian Code of Life, for example, item 9 mentions, be generous towards those who are in need or less favored than you. Arrange things every day so that you do at least one good deed for someone else. Whatever your good deed, do not boast, but thank the divine for enabling you to contribute to the well-being of others. Whereas we do well for others, we do well by ourselves. By the law of compensation. Not that we intended, but it will naturally happen. In all these activities we do, for example, the one we just did in meditation, metaphysical aid that we learned through the order or through various spiritual paths, meditation, visualization, metaphysical aid, many other exercises taught and practiced through the weekly monograph lessons of the Rosicrucian Order Amark, all help with our health, vitality, well-being, sense of purpose, and understanding to increase our capacity of service. That's fundamentally, first and foremost, what they're about. Now, in the work of the order, and the Rosicrucians use the word work in a very special and profound sense. I use it similarly. It consists of teaching and studying and testing such laws of divine in nature that make the Rosicrucian student masters of the holy temple, physical body that I've alluded to already, but also as workers in the divine laboratory, the divine temple, as nature's domains. This is to enable you to render more efficient help to those who do not know and who need or require help and assistance. That's part of the reason we ascended to the heights of the celestial sanctum just now and do it daily in spirit and experience its cumulative effects on all levels of our being. The intention is for the students of the order to be unselfish students, selfish servants, I should say, of divine to humanity and to all, to be efficiently educated, trained, and experienced, attuned with the mighty forces of the cosmic or divine mind, and masters matter, space, and time. This essentially makes for us ultimately be mystics, feel the highest ideals of knighthood, of adeptship and magi, and be creators responsible for our own destiny. In fact, you recall, if you've advanced at a certain point in your studies, that you took an oath and obligation of service. It was a very solemn one. Be pledged to give unselfish service without hope or expectation or remuneration, than to evolve the self and prepare it for greater work and help all others in that. Indeed, when we enter the lodge temple, we make a special salutation to the east there. That is in remembrance of that solemn oath of obligation that's at the center of our work and worship as students of the order and essentially as human beings on the temple of the earth. This is the way that the greatest meaning in life comes out and the greatest assistance when we're in need as we've helped serve others. Now, this obligation of service is true as a strong one for the outer self, but not when it works with the inner self. This obligation of service makes it imperative for us as students to study and practice, to test and try the laws taught in the order and to apply them at every opportune time so that the light which is gone may be restored and the darkness, that is ignorance and evil, dispelled. This is why the keynote of the Rosicrucian order is service. Just as the keynote of knighthood is unconditional caring, applied in action through service. Through the Rosicrucian order, there will be special opportunities the officers will give us to progress. The more impulsively and wholeheartedly we accept those, and the inner impulse that comes with that, the more definitely it is registered in the cosmic records. Now, the order is happy to serve us, and in return, we must be happy to serve it in the way it's teaching us, be able to be of greater service to the order and to all. You know, and when we have our periods of meditation, past imperator Christian Bernard emphasized to us to always use that opportunity when you're in the heights of the celestial sanctum to have a period of metaphysical aid, give back as we've been given, to use that cosmic attunement as our birthright in service. Indeed, we can have as a mental attitude, as instructed in the booklet Liber 777, to offer ourselves in service to humanity and to all sentient beings and all. As part of our purpose meditation, that'll assist us to tune with the cosmic even more, because it'll see that we're serious and we're on the right track and we're doing what's needed all the more. Now, just as we've had people in our own lives who set an inspiring example, it may have been a friend, family member, it may have been an elder, it may have been the Grand Masters over time in our order, imperators over time in our order, maybe an inspiring doctor or professional that you knew, or teacher, professor. Part of the reason they could be so inspiring to us is they were following the dictates and the guidance of the master within. And part of the reason we had the experience of their example is that we too could then follow suit as an example, just as one generation can be to the other down through the ages. In a way, this is part of the spiritual tradition of the order, that the current of initiation passes from initiate to initiate, from initiator to initiate, and then becomes initiator to the initiates, down through the ages. This is a profound form of service, so that we can set an inspiring example to others without any sense of self-aggrandizement. This is part of the reason why those elders gave so freely to us, because they could see that we could do likewise ourselves down through the generations. Indeed, also with meditation and the experience of cosmic consciousness, there's a tremendous love. That love is not only to be enjoyed, but it's to be radiated and is to be applied and shown in our daily lives, not only through the metaphysical aid that continues as a way of life, but in all our contact with others. You see, we have these uplifting experiences to be purified and healed, yes, to be made whole, and to have their cumulative effect as we transfer and mature through the rose quartz state. but we also have them to emulate in all that we do and to strengthen us and guide us for service. There is, throughout our lives, the opportunity to assist and encourage others, help others grow, mature, and strengthen in their chosen career or life direction, finally to make a difference. Just even listening to others without butting in, but just know that we're listening in a very calm, respectful way can be very healing to others and even ourselves, and help attune them with the cosmic. You know, I mentioned in the description here that for this presentation that this law of service has a great deal to do with our conscience. That is, to know what is proper to be done and use our knowledge so that not just so much, the idea is not so much just to do things for others, but as much as possible, do things for others that'll help them be more self-reliant so they can even be of greater service themselves. The law of cosmic attunement is important as applying the law of service because then we know better how to guide our actions and know what is actually of service rather than just what appears to be of service. And often things aren't what they appear to the other self. Just acting on that is not sufficient. That cosmic attunement will allow us to see more deeply the true nature of things and what is the best way to help, to guide. The law of humility is important because in doing service, it's not that anyone's above anyone. We're all on equal footing. Humility is to allow the outer self to surrender and follow the guidance of the divine within to know how to serve and what lines of service are best in this incarnation. The law of balance is important because as we work with the outer self in its finite nature, it's true we need to choose what tasks to take on, what duties to take on, how much we can do on the finite plane, and have proper time to rejuvenate and do our studies and our career work and our family duties, all which relate to service, to ensure that we're not burning out. In a way, fulfilling the law of service through our life is the marathon throughout this incarnation, not the sprint, so that we can maintain and feel rejuvenated. That's why it's important to keep coming back to the deep well of the meditative experience, to be refreshed and revitalized. Now, there's many opportunities to be of service, to be sensitive, and that's part of the value of meditation, to become more sensitive and to know how to act and how to serve others, community, and our environment. The Grand Lodge of the Rosicrucian Order Anmark also provides us many lines of service, no matter where we are living. And this is something that I know many of you have followed through in your life. Also, the affiliate bodies of the Rosicrucian Order Anmark provide many lines of service, and even no matter where we're living. The officers of the order are on the lookout for us, and they will approach us. And they can be duties smaller or larger that they'll invite us to participate in. And thereby, we get to do things we're familiar with, but also do them in a new way, maybe a more challenging way, and also new things that we haven't done before. They're brought out as our abilities, and maybe we didn't even realize have, but the outer self through meditation helps us become aware of. Through the contact with the affiliate body in the Grand Lodge. Now, through these lines of service, it's important to apply the law of impersonality. It's important because when we do these acts of service, we're representing the order, not ourselves. Or when we're in the larger world, we're representing the divine within, not our outer nature. It is also through the law of impersonality that the deepest love can flow through us, just as we did during our meditation period. Indeed, that metaphysical aid that we do regularly, that's one of the most important lines of service we can be involved with continually. Now, lines of service can be part of our chosen career. if we're giving back more than what we're paid for, as emphasized by past Imperator H. Spencer Lewis in his beautiful book, Rosicrucian Principles for Home and Business. Now, lines of service are part of activities also where no payment is involved, be it in our home life, community, or environment. It can be the temptation to learn some of the laws of life and then go and do our own thing. But the greatest service, enrichment, and understanding comes about through remaining aligned through the initiatic current, down through the ages, and guiding our service, whatever form it takes, in that spirit, through the order and the great mystical traditions of the world. Now, some specific forms of service we may take up may continue through our entire incarnation or beyond. But there may be others that are brief actions or encounters just at the right time. The divine within will know how to act. And as we regularly meditate, we'll be more sensitive to know when to do that. One thing that's very important to realize about the law of service is that through it, we come to the full understanding of the lessons and the laws of life by applying them in service. And looking for other inspiring areas to know about how to be of service, there was the Rosicrucian Manifesto, the Positio. I'll give you a reference to a little while. And there's the Rosicrucian Utopia, which shows insights on the spiritualization of human endeavors and service to humanity and all. Indeed, in considering the value of service, it's helpful to consider what makes life highly worthwhile and deeply meaningful. Indeed, it's cosmic attunement, the perspective of the cosmic, and the tremendous of love that we experience thereby. Also, it's the connections through the cosmic and in our daily living, as emphasized by our imperator, Claudio Mazzucca. And finally, and very important for this presentation, it's service itself. That is making a difference. That is joining with others in being a force for good. This time we'll conclude, and I'll ask Anna to please post the resources for the presentation in the chat. They'll be there as 3 pastes in the chat, and also as a PDF attachment. I think it's the latter that you may find easiest to work with and use. So by way of concluding, I'll say that we've continued to explore Rosicrucian laws and principles and their application for self-mastery and service. The law of service is fundamentally about giving back the best of what has been given to us. We come into the full understanding of the lessons and laws of life by applying them in service. In a way, it's the final culminating step to have that full understanding. Then matters can be seen aright and embraced for their life-giving and maturing lessons, leading to the increasingly expansive realizations of harmony and unity. Thank you, fratres and sorors. It's great to be learning with you.